Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be across this beautiful blue-green globe of ours. Welcome to Real News Live. This is A Tell the Truth Wednesday. I'm your host, Mike Barra. I don't know if does it pop when I say that into this microphone when it's
A little
close
bit.
enough?
It's kind of cool though.
Mike Barra in Las Vegas, Nevada on a Manchester City Monday. No, it's Wednesday, but we are going to crush Real Madrid today and knock them out of the UEFA Champions League. And once again, win the Champions League because they're my team. Joined as I always am by my co-host, the lovely lady with lustrous hair from Hayden, Idaho, Jennifer Faladorian. Jen, how is your wonderful Tell the Truth Wednesday going?
Oh, going great. Everything's going good over here. Both girls are into new cars with big car payments, but that's good for their build credit. I had to help a little bit with that. One with credit and one with a little money, but no more cars breaking down. So I'm very happy.
Yeah, that's the thing is like, I bought a new car last August when we moved or last July. And the thing is that, you just don't have to worry about anything. For a while, I've got it for 3 years. We'll see if I pick up the remaining 18 grand on the lease, but I'm inclined to just go with a new one. Just like go.
Well, yeah, for me as a woman, I just like no problems. That's why I kind of prefer, if it starts getting too old, I get a new one because it's just too much of a problem. I don't want to get stranded somewhere. Because I don't want those girls stranded somewhere.
Right, and that's the thing is when these things, everybody's here. Bernie, Sandy, Big Six Prime, Audie May, Shadow, Karen Koth, everybody's saying hi to each other. That's the thing, Jen, is that when you can't wait to hear the update. Yeah, there's some interesting stuff. When things start to go wrong, then one thing usually leads to another. So it's always better.
And it did. It was like every other week I was, and they're like 21 and 24. They don't have the money. Just turned 24. They don't have the money to big car bills. And so that was me fixing everything every other week. And I was like, okay, we got to do something. All right. And then I bought all the extended warranties on the used one and everything because I was like, nope. I want this covered.
Jen is glowing today. Hi, Jen. Mike is very up. Yes. Well, I'm kind of up. I'm always up. Of course I'm up because my team is going to crush those evil, snily Spaniards today. And I'm really looking forward to that. Although it is sports and anything can happen and referees can alter games by ejecting players and making us play with 10 men. But that's the only way they can beat us because we're so much better than them. So I'm going to ask you a couple questions before we get to, Jen's been cheating on me, guys. She's been putting out all kinds of Gentel when I'm not around. So she's doing it behind my back.
You don't own me, all right?
She's just cheating on me. You accuse me of cheating on you when I talk to other psychics. So fair is fair. Remember that time I quoted Gustava and you were all upset because I was cheating on you with another blonde psychic?
Well, that was just rude.
Apparently brunette psychics are okay, just not blonde psychics. Jen, I wanted to ask you, Mark Z is in Brazil and you got your Gentel last Monday, said, watch Brazil. And then this is Tell the Truth Wednesday. You said currency values change Tuesday, something along those lines, which did not happen in public at any rate. But who knows? We may subsequently learn that it was Tuesday that certain values of certain countries changed, and there was no specificity on which country it was going to be. But Mark is in Brazil.
Or which
this was a relatively unannounced visit to Brazil. I know Mark pretty well, and even I don't know exactly what he's doing in Brazil. But I wanted to ask, obviously, I would think that would be connected to currency somehow. Is it connected? And is there going to be some good news coming out of Brazil? I guess is what my question
would be. There's privacy all over that. So I can't reveal what he is keeping private.
Privacy all over that. I asked him to bring me back a hot Brazilian wife, so maybe that's where the privacy comes in. He's found one, and he's going to bring me back one of those hot Brazilian wives who wears the bikinis that just have a string for the back. Did you ever see 90 Day Fiance? Did you ever watch that show?
No.
There's this nerdy guy a nerdy engineer guy who got engaged to this Brazilian girl. And of course, they have different standards in Brazil. And he goes to the beach with her in like Los Angeles, and she's got this bikini on that's just a string. And he's like, "You think maybe you want to wear a beach skirt with that?" Like, what's the matter? I don't understand. What's the matter? So I don't know. I don't remember if they ever stayed together, but it's a great show because there's this certain type of visa where you have 90 days to bring a potential mate over to the United States. They can visit for 90 days. And if you don't get married within that 90 days, you have to start the whole process again. And it takes a long time. It's a pretty hysterical show. So, all right, guys, the bikinis are very tiny in Brazil. They all look great in them. Yeah, I know a lot of guys that marry Brazilian. Flossing.
Different cultures. I had my brother, his first wife was French and African. And she came over to the first family gathering, and we were all at the pools. We were all in San Diego. And she's like, "Can I take my top off?" And I'm like, "No, you can't. You can't. I got my little kids running around, okay?"
You can't flash your boobs.
Oh, actually, no, there were kids there. But I think that was my sister. Yeah, that was a long time ago. Anyway, we were all just shocked. Like, and my stepfather's like, "Yes, you can. Yes, you can." And I'm like, no, we're not doing that.
Yep. So, that's one of the things that there's just different standards of modesty in different cultures.
Yeah,
it
wasn't like crude at all for her. It was totally acceptable.
I would bet Mark is having a pretty good time. So, well, here's the thing. Are we going to find out publicly what's going on in Brazil, or what the reasons are that he might have gone to Brazil? We're going to find that out publicly.
There will be news coming out of Brazil.
See. All right, guys. Jen, you did a whole bunch of Gentel yesterday. You had your thoughts over coffee on your show. I watched your show, by the way. It was very good, as usual. And then you had some thoughts after coffee. So we're going to flash those on the screen and go through them. And why don't you just do a quick review of them? I will.
Why don't you read it? Because I'm going to be up here like this with these glasses.
Okay. So we'll start with Gentel Short, which is actually posted afterwards, but it's interesting. Talk about NDA at exchange is not about knowing what rate you received on foreign currency. It's about knowing the exchange rate of the United States Treasury note compared to the United States dollar. They will exchange in USD, US dollars, then calculate, that's the fiat currency, then calculate the amount in US Treasury notes and put that amount in the Treasury account. You will know the exchange rate for the USA before we go to gold and sign the NDA to keep it quiet until we go to gold. That's when we get full access. So do you want to elaborate on any of that? In other words, the NDA is not to keep quiet what rate you got for your currency. It's the exchange rate between the gold-backed U.S. Treasury note and the U.S. dollar, which is 27 to 1, by the way.
Right, because so I got this in a reading. Somebody else asked me a question yesterday, and we lined it out in the reading, and so I decided, well, I should post that. So when you can exchange these other currencies, they've already gone to gold. It's known. Okay. It's on the screens. You can access that. We would get a different rate. Right. But, and there may be some kind of wording in the NDA about that. But the thing is that the account will be backed by the Treasury, and basically a Treasury account, your big account per currency, I think.
Yeah.
But that will be held in gold-backed currency. Okay. That currency at the time of exchange is not yet recognized, but it is recognized by the Treasury. Okay. But not publicly recognized. We're still in the fiat. So they're going to calculate it, I believe, from what I got. I could be wrong, but they're going to calculate it in fiat, what we're aware of, the current currency.
The dollar.
The dollar.
Right.
And then when it goes into your account, it will show up. Like, let's say you got like $1.269 billion. Okay. it'll show up on your treasury account as 47 million. And you're like, what gives,
Yeah.
And that's quite a
Well,
fee.
yeah.
And
So as an example, $100 million, right? Let's say that's your exchange. You simply divide that by 27. If
if
Jen,
indeed that's true,
if indeed that's true, Jen got 27 to 1. And then that becomes $3,703,000 notes, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it will buy you what $100 million would buy you today.
Yeah, it's
That's
the
what you need
same.
to think about.
And so when people say, oh, it's going to go 1-to-1 when the U.S. exchanges, when they go to gold, no. So if you had like $1 million in the bank,
yeah,
in U.S. Wait, listen, no, they're not going to give you 1 million notes for $1 million.
No,
what's going to happen is, and then that's why everybody's been saying, oh, we're going to go back to 1950s prices. Well, not really. It's just going to look that way because
more like
you're now going to have
1971.
notes. So if you were to buy $1 million house, it'll now cost you like $37,000 or something like that.
Right. Well, the other day, Dave
notes.
and I were watching a YouTube video of a house. There's this sort of a mansion of a house which has an unfinished yard. It's here in Vegas with a view of the Strip and all this stuff. And it was $5,500,000. Okay, so that's what it costs today in fiat currency. So if you were to when it gets repriced into treasury notes, what you have to do is just divide that by 27, which is the 27 to 1 ratio, and that would become a $203,000 or $204,000 house.
Note house, yes.
Which is probably what that house would have cost you in 1971 or 1958 or whenever the gold standard, because at that time that we were still on a gold standard.
So yeah, so it's really the same idea of other countries dropping the zeros. So they're getting back down to smaller amounts, okay? But you do the math and it's really, the inflation is the same. And now over time the inflation may fall from that, okay?
Right.
But that's how you get your 1950s prices.
Well, yeah, with a gold-backed currency, there's very little or no inflation. There's very little inflation. So that's
the reset on that.
Right. That's the reset on that. And there's no interest on,
But when you go to your exchange appointment, what I was getting yesterday in this reading is that when they calculated that amount in US dollars, the recognized currency at the time,
mm-hmm.
and they put it in the treasury account considers US dollars like fake money, right?
Right.
They can't hold that anymore. They have to hold real money. So they hold the US notes. All right.
So they convert it to US notes.
Yeah. And so it's going to look like, okay, I have much less. Why? Well, you will do the calculations and they'll tell you why. And you will know what the rate's going to be between, the difference between a US note and a US dollar.
Right. Which may or may not
be an NDA. Right. So when we go to gold and everybody else knows, then you can have full access to that.
Right. Which may or may not be 27 to 1. So they will give you a small fiat currency loan kind of thing. And
yeah. So if you go and get your 1% and they say, all right, you've got this amount. We can't give you full access yet or you can transfer over like 1%, maybe. I don't know.
Right.
I really don't know. But I think the 1% loan, that's why we paired up with big banks, and then you'll have a holding account is what I call it, as it was explained to me.
Yes.
So you transfer out of that treasury account, or the bank does, and they say, well, we'll give you 1% of it if they can do that. Otherwise, the bank gives you 1% of their fiat currency dollars of that amount. And that is like a loan until such time as we go to gold. And then maybe there's some kind of automatic transfer to give it back. Whatever.
So what you have to keep quiet about is whatever the exchange rate is. Even let's say it turns out to be 27 to 1. And Jen has talked about 27 to 1 because she got it from the Angels. You still can't talk about it. So once you sign that NDA, you cannot discuss that at all. That's what she is telling you, that the NDA is really going to be.
So since I got that and we go exchange, I may not be able to talk to you for a little bit.
Right. Right.
Because
I
I
mean, I'm
might
not
slip and say, "Oh yeah, it's 27-1," and then I'm not gonna,
right, and I'm not going to I'm not going to take any risks.
right.
If I just disappear for 2 or 3 months, I don't even come on and say I'm going to disappear for 3 months. Just understand why. Uh, I'm not taking the slightest risk with this. This is the
What I could do
opportunity.
is no longer discuss anything financial.
Right. So will it adjust to the actual amount we get at the exchange? Yes. Yes. It
Yeah,
will
so
be
you're
it
not
will
losing anything. It's just the difference in the two currencies, and they can't. The rest of the country and surface people who are not involved in the RV and did not exchange or redeem would not know for sure that the country is going to gold and when. So we just sit back with that NDA, get our 1% and wait.
Mhm. And when everything goes publicly gold, then you can talk about these things. But why would you? Again, I think it's a good idea to not let people know that you knew about this. Just go live your life and enjoy yourself. Jen, let's get back to one thing. I kind of forgot. We did say you did say on Gentel on Monday that foreign currency rates would change on Tuesday. I just want to ask, did any currency rates change? Apparently it wasn't public, but did currency rates change yesterday on some significant foreign currency? Did that happen? And we just haven't heard about it yet, or was it delayed?
Something happened in two places, or it is in the process of happening. Um, so right after that, when I said rate changes Tuesday in foreign currency, there will be retaliation after that. Countries are prepared for that. So
Right.
that may be the reason why it wasn't publicly revealed or put on. But something did happen yesterday.
And when you say something did happen, you mean did something happen to stop it, or it did happen? Something did
No, good.
happen.
Something positive.
Something
Progress.
positive happened. Okay, I forgot to turn on my light. Ooh, wow, I got so bright there. Let's calm me down a little bit. Okay, let's move on to the next part of the Gentel dump from yesterday. The Gentel notes. You guys can see that I'm scrolling. Everybody's good, right?
So this was transcribed by Sue Rose, who is wonderful and helps me.
We appreciate
Um,
it.
and she basically put in her own words what I said, and I read it through it, and I said that's fine.
Okay. So, Gentel Notes, thoughts over coffee from Jen's show yesterday, which you can watch on YouTube on Jennifer Fladoring on YouTube, correct?
Yeah, we
Right.
need to change that. It's not philosophy on
Archangel Gabriel, outside of meditation. Full explanation of Gentel Notes on the video. So, you want to watch the whole thing. Debt forgiveness, why it's possible, and how banks will survive. Okay, so the Alliance initial steps. The goal, and you guys are reading this, right? It looks like it's coming.
I
Okay,
can see it.
the goal of the alliance at the very beginning of all this was to take away power and influence from the cabal by taking away their money. And in the process, ensure that the money of the people was safeguarded as much as possible. The alliance knew that it would be catastrophic for people to lose all their money. There would be mass hysteria and an outraged public would be uncontrollable. That's correct, gentlemen. So, and ladies, so they took steps to protect the monies of the people when devising their plan. This included ensuring that banks would survive and society would continue to operate. Money has been the primary goal of this entire alliance operation. That's why Trump is in charge. The alliance retrieved all the gold from the cabal at the beginning of this operation to make the financial transition possible. And I mean, that's what the broker has been telling us for some time. They're bringing a whole bunch of hidden gold on ledger. That's exactly what he's talked about. So you want to talk about that first paragraph there, or set of sentences?
You covered that pretty good. So when we heard about all the Vatican and all the goals and the catacombs and all this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure, and that the World Bank is now alliance. We got that, that the World Court and the World Bank have been they have under alliance control. So that's why you're seeing all these changes. That's why you're seeing everything happen. So they did that in the beginning, and then I believe it might have gone to the World Bank. I'm not sure the process,
Mhm.
but then divvied up between the countries.
Right.
I don't know how
That
they figured that out, but maybe
that it
that's
was
why it's
well,
coming
I
in
mean,
later.
there are probably records of the gold being stolen from various countries. I know that
Okay.
there was a lot of gold in the Philippines hidden there for a long time, and so this
So
is
that's
all
why that was one of the first operations that they did. And then they started on the children in the tunnels and everything else, and the bad guys, and arresting them and everything else, but they had to get in, and they had to get that um to capture the flag in the end, because that's the root of the entire evil organization, is the money. That is the power. And without that, they have no influence. They can't and they have no control. And so they had to do that. Jesus told us that 2 years ago, and
right.
sometime in July or something, and he said um they have to, oh my god, remember 2 years ago? All right, and I'm a little ashamed to admit this, but remember 2 years ago when
Yeah.
we got August 23rd, God wins?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that's when they got the gold. I don't know.
Ooh.
Maybe it was earlier than that. I just
Ooh.
feel like it was like way back
Yeah.
in the beginning of this whole thing. But I think that was when we figured out that that was when everybody kind of like signed up and was on board to take the steps to move towards the Sansara Jasara thing.
Good morning.
Yeah, but I think that, so that's why they did all that. And so that we would have the gold. And my whole point here is that a long time ago they started with the banks for the debt relief or the debt cancellation. And they're
Mhm.
like, well, how are the banks going to survive if we cancel everything they've got on ledger? And
Right.
then we take away and change the currency. We can only really replace what they have in house or whatever.
Right. So
So
we put gold in their vaults to cover it.
so
Yeah.
they were reimbursed probably for the principal of the loans that they have on ledger, and so that they could survive. It's not right, but we need banks. And
Yep.
so that was something that was very important from the very beginning to
Yeah,
happen.
that's the next part, fears and perceptions. People think
Yeah.
that banks are bad and should all disappear, but the concept of banks is useful and necessary. It's just fractional reserve banking that's evil and usury. People have been concerned that they will lose all their money in the banks and or the stock market. So that by backing the banks up, that cures that problem, right?
Well, it ensures that society keeps rolling along, and that we
Mhm.
can make purchases and do business, in country and across countries and all over the place. So it's very necessary that that was taken care of first and insured.
I told you in 2010, I told you in the choice that we had to make a choice on December 21st, 2012. At the entire human race voted on this. Do we wipe the slate clean and start all over again, another flood, an asteroid, a cataclysm, or do we choose to fix the system that we have and go forward? And I told you that was the choice that we made on December 21st, 2012. Here we are going through all the transitions I told you were going to happen. And it's, to me, Jen, it's just fascinating
It is
to watch it
fascinating.
unfold because
All right. So,
it's really
yeah.
cool.
And so the
So
White Hats, that's not the White House.
the White Hats. Okay. New financial structure. The White Hats put into place a new financial structure, which has been running in the background alongside the old structure. Just like there has been an interregnum, Dave Barra, with regard to the presidency, two presidents, so too has there been one with our financial system. The current dying global financial system involves the Federal Reserve, central banks, and each country's currencies. In the US, we have the fiat dollar. That's our old system. The new system, which is or will be run wholly by the alliance, is set up as follows. Each country will have a treasury, which replaces its Federal Reserve central bank, and all banks within a country will be connected to that treasury. All treasuries and banks will be connected to the World Bank, which is now run by the alliance. There will also be a world court. There already is in The Hague in the Netherlands, which, in partnership with the World Bank, will have oversight for all financial transactions within each country. The World Court will oversee the World Bank and legislate any issues. This structure, along with the new quantum financial system, which is an AI driven financial system, will minimize the cabal's ability to cheat and wrest away control of our monies in the future. Under the new system, all countries will have new currencies with new
New
names.
names. That's the
This
key.
new system is ready and waiting for the transition to occur. And Jennifer, it has already started because guess what they have in Zimbabwe now? They have the new Zimbabwe Zig. The Zig is their new currency. They led the way. And if you think that this stuff about Zimbabwe is a bunch of crap and it's not going to happen,
You're not paying attention.
stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
Okay. So the thing is about the change in the name. Okay, we'll go through this in a second, but that's what popped up to me is that it was important to change the name of the currency. It cannot be exactly the same. You can't just say, okay, well, the US dollar, well, now it's gold back. Just keep paying all your bills. Okay, no, because there will be a different. So we've got that 27-1, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing, and so she'll explain, well, she wrote it up, but it explains it soon. But the whole idea is that if you change the name of that currency, you would have to write up a whole new mortgage contract. You'd have to write up a whole new financial contract. You can't just do that. So anything that asks you to pay back in dollars is null and void. So go ahead.
Yeah, it's null and void. And here's the other thing, guys. When you got the mortgage for your house, I have a mortgage on this place because I had to do it that way to obtain it, right? You own. This is my property. I own this. The bank doesn't own this. The bank defrauded me into signing up with them as if they were loaning me money. And it says right in my paperwork somewhere, I am giving the bank an interest in a property that I already own because under the old system, they took the few $100,000, $300,000, whatever it was, out of my account at the Federal Reserve and then loaned me my own money back to me at an outrageous interest rate. So when they forgive the debt, forgive the loans, they're not forgiving anything because it was never their money in the first place. It was always yours. And they can't tell you that because the new system won't even work if they were to tell you that.
And because of the new structure, we've got the World Court, then the World Bank, then the treasuries, then the banks, okay? Because of this new structure and the quantum financial system and that it's real money, you cannot create any more money than the gold that you have. So they can't do that anymore.
The other thing, too, is if you buy something with gold or gold-backed currency, you have what's called a alloidial title. That is different than the title we have today. Under a alloidial title, you own that property forever. There are a lot of complications where, oh, this is the county's land and you're leasing it and all this other shit that they've put in there so they can tax you on your property. So the thing is once you have a alloidial title on your property, they could tax you till the cows come home. And you could say, I'm not paying that. And they cannot take that which is yours. So you will obtain individual sovereignty under the new system, or at least you better, or the system's
so
not
probably
going to
not
work.
Going to be property taxes anymore.
Yeah, it's not going to work if you don't do that.
So it'd like really be paid off.
So it'll be really interesting. Yeah, it'll be so when they forgive your loan, they're not forgiving shit. They're just giving you that which you already own and saying, okay, it's all yours. And they shouldn't be able to hit you with any property taxes or anything like that. Okay, so banks were brought into the fold. I don't know if we already covered this in your comments again. But the evil cabal bankers who stole our monies and kept us enslaved via debt do not get a free pass in all of this. Those responsible were arrested long ago and judgment meted out by the World Court. The White Hats then selected individuals within the banking industry, like, I don't know, maybe Jamie Dimon, and I don't know, maybe somebody like Elon Musk, from deeper down within the lineage to run those banks and enable them to continue operations. Participating banks were told that they would be provided with a certain amount of gold to back their transactions and allow them to continue to provide service to the public. this gold is what will allow them to survive the financial transition. We kind of covered that already, but you want to add
That is
anything to it?
why I believe that there may be some momentary blip where you can't access your money.
Right.
Okay, that's why we keep money in the house. That's why we're stocked up.
Yep.
But I do not believe that the people will lose all their money in their bank accounts. Now, the stock market, different story. All right. But I don't think we're just gonna all because everybody's coming to me running. Oh my God, what if we don't have any money? I mean, that would be so catastrophic, and so there's no way you could ever control a sleeping giant that big.
Mhm.
So
Will we get interest back on past mortgages? The answer to that question is yes. That is under the plan of Nasara Jasara. Let's just call it Nasara. I don't care about the globe. I only care about my own country. Yes, because that was all fraud. That was all stolen from you. And there is enough gold on the planet to pay you back what you're owed. Every loan from a bank that you have paid interest on is fraud, and you're going to get paid back that. Now, there's some question whether you're going to get paid back the principal or just the interest. Jen, what do you get on that question?
this is why you get your interest payments back. And a long time ago, I think it was Phil who had a contact in the Federal Reserve or the Treasury or whatever, who
Mhm.
was only calculating interest, and then the word went out that you only get interest back. No.
Mhm.
The reason that is because that individual only knew about the calculation of interest because it will go back to the time. And I got this in a reading too for somebody else. And I told him it goes back to this certain date. And I says, does that make any sense to you? She goes, that's the date when we basically bought our first home and had our first loan. I'm like, how the
Mhm.
hell would I know that? All right. So,
Yeah.
um,
Because you're working with some big shots, Jen.
well, I try. And so damn menopause, it's lost my train of thought. What were we talking about?
Kenneth had 6 past mortgages. You're going to be rich, Ken.
I
Okay.
know, I've
You're going to
got
be
so
fucking
much
rich,
stuff.
dude.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. So the principal of those loans is calculated and kept track of in your say the name QCV trust, or how you say it.
Sesquitu Trust.
I always screw that up. That's where the principal of those loans is kept track of. The interest that you paid is not kept track of in that. That trust will be your new retirement. That will be what people will use from here on out. Will encourage them to go to college, encourage them to work. They will manage their own money. They will manage that own trust. That is what they will be, the new retirement that will eventually replace the old retirement.
You've always had these. Sorry, go ahead.
It's much better. But the reason why you would be different financial institutions will have to go back for whatever loan you had and send you all these little payments of interest. And I originally saw that happening this fall. Let's pray for that, because get really discouraged about these dates. But that's why you'll get these individual payments coming to you in the mail. Okay. And that's why, and so all the principal, the money that you actually created, is kept track of in that trust.
All
That's
money is
separate.
All money is actually created by you, by living, breathing human beings. It is created by you. Here's the thing. So, are we going to get the principal back or just the interest?
The principal will be in your trust, your personal trust.
Okay.
That is outside of any other accounts that you have from the RV with the Treasury. This is
right.
This trust is with the Treasury and will be managed eventually by the people that do taxes now and do other things like that. Will move over into helping people do that kind of thing. And that's why, probably another reason why you see so much wealth management coming. It's not just for the RV. So they'll, like, a young person will say, okay, well, you graduated from high school, you get a certain amount for being born, like stuff like that. And they'll go in at a certain age and say, well, you've accomplished this, you were in the military, blah, blah, blah. Do I have enough to get a home? And you'll sit down with your financial advisor. They'll take a look at your account and your trust, and they'll say, well, you got about this much dollars to go and buy outright a home. Unless you'd like to take a little bit out and get a loan or whatever. Um, so that's how people are going to manage their retirement someday. And so it will encourage people aren't just going to take the money and sit back. I mean, older people, yeah, go ahead and do that. But the younger generation will be fueled by the purchases of the older generation, and it will encourage them to achieve.
To
It's
be
going,
productive, right? To be
yeah,
productive.
it's like a big infinity symbol that keeps the thing moving and going for a long
Mhm,
time.
mhm.
So let's move on.
Well, I'm not done yet.
Okay.
Here's the thing, too, is that you've always had this trust. They created these in 1933 under the New Deal, under the Gold Act, when they took away the real money, the gold and the silver, and they gave you the birth certificate bond, which is what your trust has always been created of. So they basically what's had happening is that you had this trust, but they were supposed to tell you about it and they never did. The Democrats never did. Instead, they stole out of your trust to print money for the last 70, 90 years now, almost 100 years. That's all going to end, and you're now going to have access to your trust. They are not going to tell you that you've always had this trust. They are not going to tell you that when you bought this house, that they actually took your money out of your account of the Federal Reserve, which was linked to your trust to buy this, and you already own it. They're not going to tell you that. They're not going to tell you that. You're not quite ready for that, because then you'll be like, what the hell? You've been stealing from me my whole life. They're just going to create a new trust, which will work in a fair way, as opposed to the way it's been. Jen, right?
Well, they've been using the trust to fuel their fiat system.
Mm-hmm.
And they planned that out. Oh, well, so it never ended up the way it was supposed to be from the beginning.
Yeah, your birth certificate was grouped with other birth certificates from your birth year to create securities, which were bought and sold on
Now, they may make a certain amount of that information known so the public sees the value of a gold-backed currency and system later on and doesn't go back to something like that. But not everything will be revealed. Yeah.
And that won't really be, like you say, that won't be spending money. You want, oh, I've got $7 million in my trust. Oh, I want the $7 million so I can go party in Cancun for the rest of my life. That's not.
No, that's like your that's like your trust. That's your retirement fund. That is your
and you can use
college
it.
education fund. That is your house fund. That is, I need a new car. What do I get? Can I pull anything out
Exactly.
of my trust and not hurt my retirement? So it's something that you manage on your own.
Now, this is interesting. Do you pay back what you take out of your, like, if you buy a house, do you then pay that money back to yourself into your trust, or does it just come out of your trust and your trust is now smaller?
It is replenished somehow. I haven't figured that out. It might be by working.
Yeah.
So, like, instead of submitting how much you make, I really don't know. I'm just speculating. So, like, let's say instead of submitting how much you make so that you can pay taxes on it, it would be recorded somehow, your accomplishments working. So it's going to encourage the younger half of society
Will be
to
productive,
have the jobs and
want
things
to
like
sit
that,
around and be
become
stoners.
educated, things like that.
Right.
So over
be-
time, it is replaced, but I don't think you have to pay it back.
Right. It'll still be, the more you do, the more you work, the more you get.
You'll
And
take a dent out of it, and they'll say, well, you can take this out and get a car now. You can get up to this certain amount, or for your college fund, and then over time it should be up to par what you want to, when you want to retire at such and such an age, considering what you do, something like that.
Rick, I believe there will be credit lines and credit cards. You will not be charged interest. You will be charged a bank fee at the beginning. And so, in other words, if you want to take out 10,000, it'll be 11,000 will be your loan. So you'll pay that back. There's no interest. There's no accumulated.
Yeah, I really do see a fee system coming, either per transaction, per whatever, per loan, just so that the banks and realtors and everybody else can do business and make money.
Right.
But it's not going to be the way it was.
Will a widow get the past mortgages? I would think so, because that's only fair, and this is supposed to be fair. So I would think so.
That would be cool. I don't know, really. What I saw in a reading, which was really cool, and I just told you, but she was asking about the interest payments, and it was in a yearly forecast.
Well, I mean,
and I came up with, like, I don't know, I think it was like 1986 or 1976 or something like that.
Yeah.
And And I said, "Does that make any sense?" And she goes, "Yeah, that's when we bought our first home."
Yeah. Christine,
And
sorry.
but I don't know if you like get your dad if your dad passed away, or I don't
Right.
know if they do that. I think it has to do with your social security number and anything that your social security number was involved in.
Yeah. So, I mean, Christine, if your name was on any of the mortgages, then I would think for sure you're getting it back. If it was only Chester, I don't know. I don't know. But I would think to be fair to a widow that it would work that way. And can you leave your trust to family when you die? Is a good question. And we just
Yes.
Jen just kind of covered that. You can.
Yeah. Whatever
Um,
you have left doesn't keep generating, I think, from what I've gotten psychically. Okay, people, I don't know anything about this. So I think that you can pass it down, whatever you've accumulated in your trust. So that is your nest egg.
mhm.
So and once you die, you don't have to still keep a. I think it's after age 55. You can do whatever the hell you want with it. You can take it all out once if you want to.
Except hookers and blow, they're probably not going to go for that because it's a sacred trust. So keep that in mind. The War Room and Mike Lindell are in Vegas tomorrow. Well, I that might be kind of fun to go hang out if they're in a public place. I'll have to check that out. Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon. All right, Jen, let us move back to continue. How debt forgiveness will be possible. We've probably just covered quite a bit of this, but let's talk about it real quick. Um, when loans are obtained, the types of currencies used are listed in the loan contracts agreements. We covered that. For example, when purchasing a home in the US, the purchase agreement states how much the buyer is required to pay in US fiat dollars. The White Hats originally obtained information about all loans in existence from accounting ledgers, and this information is likely now with the World Bank. All countries are going to rename their currencies. For example, in the US, our new currency will be called the US Treasury Note or USTN. This renaming of all monies globally is what will provide for debt forgiveness to occur because it will render all current loan contracts and agreements null and void. Why? Because of the way all current loan contracts are written and the names of the currencies used. And you just explained that. For example, you took out a loan in dollars. Well, the dollar doesn't exist anymore. You have treasury notes, so you don't owe anything. Anything you want to add to that part, Jen?
I don't think so. I mean,
Okay.
so like, it's basically you can't just change the terms of the loan
Loan. But if the
without writing
currency,
up a whole like an
yeah,
installment loan without writing up a new loan. Now the credit card thing, they go ahead and change the interest all the time, but there's probably wording that we signed and agreed to that would allow them to do that, which is probably completely illegal.
yep,
But we just blaze over it and throw the mail in the pile,
right,
Okay, I'm getting screwed again.
yeah,
Um,
okay,
but yeah, if you can't change anything, you have to write up if you're going to refine the house and they sit down and you're like, well, go through everything. Is everything correct? And say, no, well, I don't like this part. This wasn't supposed to be in there. Okay, well, we can redo the whole thing. And they have to redo the whole thing.
yeah. You cannot pay back a loan for a currency that no longer exists. For example, if a buyer purchased a car in the US and agreed to pay 15,000 US dollars for that car, the contract becomes nullified when the US switches to gold and or the new US Treasury note. This is because the US dollar will no longer exist. It is the way these current loans, contracts, agreements are written that will ultimately render them obsolete because the currencies identified in them will no longer exist once all countries' currencies are renamed. Once a financial agreement is signed, it cannot be changed without creating new terms and or re-signing new documents. Any contract within the US which includes the word dollars will therefore be nullified when the US switches to the new USTN, hence debt forgiveness. Now, this really isn't debt forgiveness, but instead debt cancellation. So is
Now,
it
let's go take that a little bit further. I was thinking about that.
okay?
Why were they in the U.S. making new trade agreements?
Yeah.
That was an agenda. Why would we do that right now when Biden's sitting there? Well, they really did it with Trump, but then they told Biden this is what we're doing and whatever. Why would they do that? Because the trade agreements are also written with the word dollars. Legislation with the word dollars in it. So this starts snowballing. This starts rolling to everything else with the word dollar in it. And that is why they're changing the name of the currency when they go to gold.
Because the old system just evaporates.
Now, I don't know what
There.
that's going to do to wages, but that kind of blows my mind. So we'll just
Yeah.
stop there.
So conclusion, debt forgiveness is real and possible. Most financial operations will be safe or changed. If you moved your money into gold, you'll make money because the value of gold will go up. Monies in banks will be safe. White hats have taken steps to ensure this to avoid mass chaos. There may be a period of time when people will be unable to access their money, and maybe some will panic, but it'll be short. I don't know about monies in the stock market because there will be a market crash, but for the most part, monies in banks will be safe. I've heard from another psychic that when it crashes, if you have money in the stock market, just write it out. Just hold on for dear life. Just hodl because the market will come back up to a new equitable value over 6 months or a year. Not
That's
all
what I saw.
banks, huh?
That's what I saw too.
Okay. Not all banks will survive, but there will be many changes, such as mergers, etc. Debt forgiveness happens when we go to gold. We have to RV prior to that. Timeline within the US. Sequence of events. RV, Biden out, go to gold, Nasara Jasara. Debt forgiveness is part of the Nasara Jasara rollout. The US window for the RV is after the other countries have gone to gold. The US will go to gold sometime in May. Time is approximate if there's no delays. And money is at the root of the white hat operation. You have to pull out the root to kill the weed. We're going to be better than okay. We're going to be really, really good. Or really good. Anything you want to add to any of that?
No.
Okay. I think that does it. Whoa, you're very big.
Yeah.
There we go. That's better. Okay, guys. Thank you for being here today. There are approximately 900 of you guys in the live stream right now. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for being here. And do not forget that these videos get pulled down off of Mike Barrett 3 and Mike Barrett 333 on YouTube almost as soon as the live stream is completed to avoid the censorship hatchet from YouTube, but they still seem to be staying up on Mike Barrett too, Jen. They're still there. Even though, so I got multiple YouTube channels that we're streaming across, and you can always get them on Rumble. Another place you can always get them is, believe it or not, on mikebara.blogspot.com. Just go to mikebara.com and you can pick up all of the latest shows. You can also pick up other stuff from me, videos, lectures on JFK, Ancient Aliens and JFK, Calvine UFO photo, which is just the tip of Farragon Hill in Scotland, interviews I've done, and all of our previous shows stored directly to Rumble. So if you go over to the Rumble site, don't forget, Rumble is where all the cool stuff happens, where we have the subscribe button. If you open an account and subscribe for $5 a month on Rumble, when it comes to question and answer time, like it is right now, you can get your questions answered first by Jen on our shows. And that's really a cool little benefit for a mere $5 a month. Also, please do not forget that you can go over, please to visit, our wonderful sponsors, the CBD Gurus, the CBDGurus.com. Matt and Lucas over there doing great stuff to create great products for your health. To get this week's special, slide down to the Mike B Wholesale tab, click on it, type in the discount code ALIEN. ALIEN. Let me see, Jen. Do I have that in my caption somewhere? ALIEN. Where is it? Discount code. Yeah, there it is. The CBDGurus.com discount code is ALIEN and pick up this week's specials. Matt's also really great at throwing in some extra foreign currencies like Bolivar and Dong with some of your orders. You can pick up all kinds of cool stuff like the Lion's Mane products, the Miracle Gold, the gummies, the relaxation gummies, the immunity booster, the pet. There's pet stuff, pet gels you can pick up, and the Delta 8 and Delta 9 chocolates, and some ladies' loungewear, including the American flag lounge pants are for sale now. over on the cbdgurus.com under the Mike B wholesale page. So if there's anything in here you like to get it, pop on over to the wholesale tab, discount code ALIEN, and pick them up. Also, please, if you don't mind, if you have pets, if you have products you want to help your pets with, or things you want to get your healings for your pet, head over to MikeBarrettPets.com, where you can pick up, again, all kinds of very cool mushroom-based healing products and supplements for your pets. They're all based on shed antler powder, Coriolis versicolor, and reishi mushrooms, and natural whole foods for your pets. I've been giving these things to Barkley. He absolutely loves them. Click on the Shop Now tab and slide on over there. There's all kinds of products. I give Barkley the Mojos and the Mush Puppies. The Mojos are a freeze-dried liver treat. He absolutely loves them. Every dog I've ever given it to loves them. They've got the Coriolis versicolor mushroom mixed in there for healing properties. Barkley has the energy of a 2-year-old. I mean, everybody asks me, they call Barkley a puppy when I'm in the park. They ask me how old he is. And I'm like, he's 12. He's like 12 or 13. And they can't believe it. So you can pick up all these cool products, the super sauce for dogs, super sauce for kitty cats, mush ponies if you have a horse, and also products for humans. You've got the Enforce Coriolis Versicolor, which is an immunity booster, the Enforce Restore for your internal organs like your pancreas and your liver, and all kinds of other products, including packages of supplies that you can get over there. And if you want to just send an email to Diana at MikeBarrettPets.com. MikeBarrettPets@gmail.com. Come on. I know you work. MikeBarrettPets at gmail.com. Diana, who is a certified pet nutritionist, will run you through whatever the issues are with your pets and get you set on the right product stream to actually help them with that problem. By the way, Jen, Barkley has an open sore on his leg, on his right front leg. We've got to get him to the vet, but do you see anything serious there we should be concerned about? It's like an open spot
it's a hot spot.
Hot spot. We'll get it fixed. So MikeBarrettPets.com, the CBDGurus.com, and Jen, why don't you tell us what's going on over at JenniferFalah.com today?
Okay, well, over at JenniferFalah.com, you can get healings, you can get readings. Now, this is a love button that will take a card outside of PayPal. You can use that to combine services and just put in a dollar amount, email me and said, I got this, this, and that for that amount. Okay. On the emails, my following is increasing. Not that I'm so great, but I do get very busy and I get a lot of emails that aren't just people buying things, it's people asking for help and telling me stories. Okay. So the email thing, it sometimes it takes me a little while. I had somebody cancel a sale today because I didn't respond to her within the same day, every day that she emailed me. And so you're going to have to wait a little while. I will get to you. Okay. But it does take me a little while. I got a lot to do. All right. Right now, the current sale is on the medical intuitive reading. It is a medical evaluation, head to toe, with Jesus present. Looks like a silhouette of you. Medical drawings pop out of what I see happening with your organs and going on in your body. And I try to describe to you the best I can what is going on. And I cannot prescribe anything, and I am not a doctor, but you can take this information back to the doctor to get the right tests and to find the root of the problem. And that's why people come to me for this. It is my strongest gift because of the healing. It is a half an hour reading, and it is on sale for $20 off. So if you've been waiting to get one of those, get it now.
Okay. And the cool thing, of course, is that the site is done up in the light blue Manchester City colors.
Yeah, I love blue of all kinds, if you haven't guessed. Also, Susan Gretz is on there. She does all kinds of she does mediumship readings. She does all kinds of neat things I don't do. Missing things, missing people. Also, Marcy Howell also does mediumship. You can talk to her about that. But if you got a bad guy in the house or somebody needs a cleanse, she can get to you faster than I can. So there's a little square on there and her email and a place to purchase from her that will go directly to her if that is something that you need.
Okay. Again, guys, we need your real name and the name of the person you're asking about to get.
Also, I just got a little bit more information about this trust thing.
Okay.
So what's going to be calculated and accumulated in your trust and then they've been trading on is anything that you've done over the court in your name with your social security number that created money at all. And that includes insurance policies, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let me just tell you, every dime you ever spent was a creation of money because you were creating credit, which was recognized as money. So that's what it's all about. All right, let's slide over to Rumble, and let's see. I think we can share a tab and read a few questions over here. Santa Bilium Beth. Okay, so Beth, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. Thank you, Beth. Question for Jen. My name's Beth. I'm in love with a condo property in Punta Gorda and worried it might get snatched up before my RV money arrives. Do you see me buying it? Beth
It's
wants
in
to
the
know.
process of being purchased right now. I'm sorry.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
but move on to the next one, Beth, or have one built, even better yet. Lori Bakemeyer, Little Red Castle, just says hi.
Hi.
She also says Whitney still need tons of prayers. Love all of you, but won't be able to watch much live. Helping her girls. Okay. KKF 57 is now a monthly supporter. Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. Yay! Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's the best way to support the show if you want to support us, because everybody else, we need fiat currency to survive between now and whenever this happens. So Karen, the new subscriber, says, "Hey, it's me again. Karen, do you see me buying my dream property in Wyoming in the near future?" These questions are all just ways of asking when the RV is going to happen. And we don't know. We just know.
Yes, I don't know if it's 8 weeks or 8 months.
Okay.
Until you get in it or purchase it.
How do you subscribe for $5? As soon as I sent that, I read it. Okay, that's Greta. Okay, Little Red Castle for Greta. Thank you. Sunny Chris L, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. I'm buried in bills. Are they going bye-bye soon? We hope so.
Name again?
Chris.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things that are going to happen with that. There's going to be an adjustment to like current bills, like utility bills and things like that. Yeah.
Okay. Robin McBride, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. Thank you. Robin says, my 14-year-old cat has been vet treated for an elevated third eyelid with steroids. She says she has Horner's disease and it should resolve. Any help from you, Jen? And the angels would help. Get your little kitty a healing.
Like a third eyelid or a third eye?
A third eyelid. An elevated third eyelid. I don't know what that is. But Edgar Winter is the name of the kitty. Edgar Winter.
And so the question is?
Can I get help from you? Is what she's asking for.
Oh yeah, I will always try. I can never guarantee anything. I put it in Jesus and God's hands, but pretty good track record, especially with the pets.
Diana, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber, says, Jen, this is Diana. Will Carly find another place to live by Friday? Thank you for what you do. Well, yeah. Diana's Carly.
I see her taking off on Thursday evening to go somewhere. I don't know if it's a temporary situation, but yeah.
Sharon, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. Hi, Mike and Jen. This is Sharon. I'm going on a cruise end of May. Will it go well?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Gloria, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber, says, my great niece Sarah, with an H, is going on a school trip to New York City and DC May 12th. Will the kids be safe and will the trip go well? May 12th. Wow, things ought to be pretty exciting in DC.
There's going to be like some rerouting of the plans while there. I don't know why, but I do believe that the kids will be safe. Yeah.
Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. Will my son be going to the senior school in September, or will they be taken down by then? Thank you. I don't know your son's name, Lee. I think it's Lisa. Lee or Lisa. Lisa's World. Yeah, probably Lisa. Can you connect whether her son will be going to the senior school in September? And do our past cats Keo and Simba come to visit us? Please.
Yes to the first question. Cats visiting, Michael. Just trying to get some specific information because, yeah, I see them both coming in. Not both at the same time. They like their own space. But I think one more, a furrier one, seems to come more often.
Crodec and Nola Oracle are now $5 a month subscribers. Little Red Castles, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nancy, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. When do we get to go to Vegas to party? When do you see us? When do you see us partying here in Vegas? Tell me.
I need a vacation so bad. Personally involved in that one, so it's like I've been able to get that, and I've been wrong too many times.
Yeah, you can't look at me.
I don't know. When are we going to Vegas? Probably in the hottest month. There you go.
June, July.
At the worst possible time to go to Vegas is probably like July.
It's fine. We'll be indoors in the air conditioning.
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? Greta, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber, just signed up. Thank you, Greta. Do you see Michael developing feelings for me in the future? Is he taking our connection seriously? Can I trust him? Thanks a million. Michael and Greta.
Interesting, Greta, but good to know. He's holding back from you, but he feels insecure, like he's not good enough for you, or that you would eventually find somebody else that would better. So there's a disconnect there. There's a holding back. You're going to have to tell him exactly how you feel.
Okay. Carolyn says, a Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber, says, back in January, you did a reading for me and said you saw me being able to retire May 2nd. Do you still think that is possible with the RV?
Let's all pray for that, okay? Because
well, is it still possible? It could be by May 2nd.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's possible.
Lisa, do you see us doing, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber, do you see us doing an animal project soon?
Year and 3 months.
Someone said Mark Z asked Mark Z this morning whether there was any truth to people getting notifications. He said he had to be careful answering that one, and then proceeded to go into the news and never answered. That's Mark. He'll tell me.
I think that's the whole Watch Brazil
thing. He'll tell me, but I won't let you know.
What's going on in Brazil?
Mark Z said that he and Charlie were keynote speakers at an event in Brazil. Yes. Jen?
Something that Jen tell. I don't think I wrote it down. But when I was talking about Brazil, I'm like, what's going to happen in Brazil? And remember a couple weeks ago, we saw the protests. And I said, what's going to happen in Brazil? And I saw a parade. I don't think that's written down, but it's on one of the shows.
Okay. Greg wants to know, will my cat Ornery or Onery be okay with a move to Utah? Will Greg Holgerson's cat be okay with a move to Utah?
You might want to get him some little calming treats for the trip.
Get him some calming CBD Gurus treats.
There you go.
Rosemary, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. Jen, Rosemary here. Can you see why this vertigo keeps coming and going? I'm getting really tired of it. Some days it's debilitating and I cannot function. That's Rosemary.
Okay, I know who that is. Jesus, let's take a look. You really just have still a lot of inner ear inflammation. Yeah, a lot of inflammation in the head, a lot of pressure. There's also something going on with tension and something in the neck, right above the top of the back there. maybe in the middle, kind of where it curves.
Okay. Lisa, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber says, will the most recent house I found with the heated pool be the one I end up buying? It is a dark red brick.
It's not the one. But okay, and people get so disappointed. Oh my God, my dreams are shattered. Okay. We want to take a look at what we've been looking at, because it's business as usual until it's not. And until this thing happens, it's basically just dream shopping. But something about the one that you were set on, the one that you actually find is going to have a lot of those characteristics in it. All right. So it may not be exactly that one, but it'll be like that one. And I've seen that time and time again.
Cool Raul, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber says, explains the current dinar contract rate of 28.50. Yeah, that's right, close to 27 to 1, isn't it? Lisa says, Little Red Castle, did Mark and I have past lives together, please? Just curious. Mark and Lisa. Of course.
That's going to take me more time. I can't do that.
Okay. Joe, Jen, does Mike have psychic abilities too, and he is not aware of it?
I think on certain things, yeah. I mean, I do, but he doesn't like spend the time. Dude sat through every class of mine and should be practicing it. But yes, I do believe everybody is still a soul. Everybody can function as a soul, and so certain things,
I call them instincts. I have instincts. I know certain things in a way that's not logical, and so I do pay attention to that. K Turtle 8, Carissa, is this Carissa? Hi Jen, I just had a stressful meeting with my manager. Are they going to dissolve my contract, or will I get through this and my contract will continue?
No, they need you.
Lisa, again, is my cat Leo happy here? He doesn't like to be stroked much. Sometimes he pulls away from anyone, not just me. Leo the kitty.
Is he happy?
Yeah.
Oh, he's happy. Yeah. He's just kind of got a sour attitude. It's kind of like Charlie.
Miss Fluffy Muffy, I've had her for 14 years. She hates being picked up. She hates it. It's just the way it is.
I can't pick Charlie up at all.
Yeah. I can pet her till the cows come home, but I can't pick her up.
I am his only vet because he cannot go.
Right. Raul, $5 a month subscriber. Question for Jennifer. What happens to government agencies like the United States Postal Service and the VA after this RV goes down? They're probably going to be completely reformed, if not eliminated.
Well, the Postal Service is absolutely necessary, and that will still function. What's happened here with a lot of these things that we really like, these big banks and all these things that we need for society, credit card companies, things like that, that will be needed, the evil controlling hands have been replaced. Okay. And they'll be revamped. There may be mergers of things. I don't know. Some things will lose, but the basic things that we need and the companies we need for society to keep rolling along and be productive will be in place.
Okay. Annette, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. Thanks for your Gentel. Schedule major work on my driveway. Will it be completed by June 1st?
Yeah.
Sarah, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. Do you see my son Colby getting a job this summer related to his degree in cybersecurity after he graduates college this month? Colby.
Yeah. He actually gets like 3 offers. Oh, I'm proud of him. Good job. Yeah.
Good. Lucy said, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. My current house needs a lot of repairs. Do you see me getting the money to fix it, or do you see me selling and finding a better home?
You get the money, you fix it up. You stay there for a little while. Looks like you have some fun. So you must be an RV person. Then later on, maybe 18 months from now, then you sell it.
Okay. Danae, Little Ray Castle, $5 a month subscriber. Do you see our daughter Isabel being able to go to Europe this summer as a gift for her high school graduation?
Well, that's nice. Yeah, but it looks more like end of summer, maybe even into the fall or something. It looks like very end of the summer.
Lisa wants to know, do the Little Ray Castle $5 a month subscriber, do the angels hear when I ask them for help? Sure, they do. Sure they do. Timothy, Jen, any spiritual marching orders for Timothy?
For today or for him?
For him, yeah, for anything.
Timothy, anything for Timothy? Just stay positive. That's it. Wait it out.
Okay, we are going to slide over to YouTube, take a few questions, and then we are out of here. Let's go to the chat. Let's go to the pin questions. Nancy Panzarella, hi, Mike and Jen. Jen, I've not worked in 1 year. Do you see me returning to my HR profession this spring or summer?
I don't know why you go back, because I don't feel like you have to, but should you go back for a short period of time for a certain reason?
Okay. So you won't, Joe says, so you won't be liquid upon your exchange. How can you buy gold or silver or property with U.S. notes holding a greater value but not being public? Yeah, you'll be liquid on your exchange.
Well, you'll get a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
The transition might be just a few weeks of a wait until we go to gold. Once they get the RV completed, they're gonna hurry up and do it.
Yep.
Or anybody can screw it up. I don't think they really can at this point, but.
Pier T, do you see me buying an oceanfront house in Hawaii or San Diego? Much love to you. Hawaii or San Diego?
Well, I can't make your decision for you. Answer's not coming. That's your decision.
Rick Norman, a lot of undefinable black. I don't know what that means. There was a word there. We don't know what it is. A lot of Black Ops choppers around nowhere, Alaska. What is hidden there besides possibly the world's largest pyramid? Is there a big pyramid in Alaska, Jen? A big secret pyramid somebody built eons ago? Maybe not eons, but in ancient times.
That's cool. Oh, you guys are going to love this. And it's probably already known. There are pyramids that were, they're like covered in sediments, but that were visible worldwide, and they were on the top of them. They had like, it was almost like a Tesla tower. It was power. It's like a little pyramid thing on the top, and they connected, and there was energy. There was like electricity. I don't know if electricity, but worldwide, yeah. And there's 2 in Alaska, or in that whole region. So maybe up there in that area.
Okay, Kathy P, when you have the NDA, will you still have spiritual Tuesday and Thursday shows? I learned so much from those shows. Well, we don't know. It depends on the terms, right, Jen?
I think I'd probably be fine if I didn't discuss anything financial. We'll just make that deal. We're not going to talk about money. We're not going to tell what's coming. We're not going to talk your job. Nothing.
Laura chimes in. Aaron Russo said in an old interview, the globalists were going to make a North American Union, Canada, USA, and South America, and the currency for all would be the Amero. That was a long time ago. There is no Amero anymore. It's all over and done with. It was supposed to be Canada, USA, and Mexico for the North American Union. Yeah, we will be, there will be an alliance under Nasara, US, Canada, Mexico, New Zealand, and Australia.
Really? Mexico's going to be in there?
Yeah. And South America is
Canada, US, and Australia.
Right, because South and Central America is going to be Canada. I think it's because Australia uses a dollar similar to ours. It's an English-speaking country, and we're able to administer New Zealand and Australia more easily from the continental U.S. than, for instance, the Crown of England would be. Right? It's even though they're British Commonwealth, they'll be part of a Commonwealth with the United States, Mexico, and Canada. Is how I've heard it.
I don't know about Mexico. Well, you
Yeah,
might be
well, we'll
right.
see.
But
We'll
it just
see.
doesn't make sense. It would make such a big deal about the border, and then all of a sudden, okay, Mexico's our land
Yeah.
now too.
Well, you're still going to have a border, but yeah, it's going to be a different situation. Jordan, some states refuse to acknowledge a loyal title. Yeah, now under the fiat system, but in the new system, they're going to have to. So, Joe Evans says money coming in builds momentum with banks, which restarts the whole global financial system. Yep, it does. Okay, let's see if we have any other pet related questions. What about moms who have stayed at home to care for children in a household? You'll still have a trust, so you'll be taken care of.
It is going to be bigger for people that like went to college, were in the military, had many houses and credit card limits and insurance policies and all kinds of stuff like that. But there'll still be a trust.
Baja Girl. Jen, my name is Christine. Can you ask Jesus what I can do to generate income? And I'm having difficulty getting out of my depression. I'm doing what I can. I seem to have lost my connection with Jesus. Well, you never lose.
That's a full reading. Let's see. Anything you can offer at this time? Lose your time online to make money.
YouTube. Hello, Mike and Jen. My name is Freddie. Will I buy a house in Puerto Rico this summer? You can be neighbors with Mark Z.
Mm-hmm. This summer?
Yeah, this summer. Yeah.
I'm seeing more like October or something like that, but close enough. Yeah.
Why do I have brain fog? I'm so sick of it. Susan, not just to sell you something here, but I'm going to take you over back to MikeBarraPets.com. You hit the shop button, and there is a product called Enforce Clarity. And send Diana an email, MikeBarraPets@gmail.com. Talk to Diana, get on the phone with her, and see if this might help.
There's two things going on here. Of course, hormonal levels. We know that. Inflammation in the body, especially in the brain there, not like serious inflammation, but like inflammation in the body is causing that fogginess. And then also, what else was it? There's inflammation in the body and crap, I forgot. See, I've got the whole menopause, what do I brain fog? Don't ask me that because I'll forget.
Yeah, got brain fog. Try the Enforce Clarity.
I have CRS.
That works. See if that helps.
Yeah.
Okay, one last question. It's 11:30. Jen, is Andrew the one I will marry?
Let's see. I'm not supposed to tell you that.
You're not supposed to tell you that. All right, don't forget, guys. You can contribute to the show through Rumble and the $5 a month subscription, which is the best way. I also have a Cash App. I have a Zelle. There's a PayPal now, which is in the description. Dave Barra's PayPal. You can send cash donations through there if you want to. You can also find me anywhere I'm on like basically all social media. MikeBarra.blogspot.com. Rumble, we're Real News Live. Telegram, it's Mike Barra 33. Instagram, Mike Barra 333, and at Mike Barra 333 on Twitter X. And Jen, you can find her on JenniferFalah.com. Jennifer Falah Doring on YouTube, Philosophy on Telegram, Jennifer Falah Doring on Telegram, Philosophy Chat on Telegram. You can find her everywhere. Jen,
Jennifer Falah Doring on Facebook. Free Psychic
Library.
Reading, Speaking of Light group on Facebook. I'm all over the place. I just don't list all the places.
Okay. All
Mostly
right.
on Telegram lately.
I have to run to the store before the game starts in a half an hour, so I'm going to zip out of here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Jen and I will be back on Monday. I will be doing Whiskey and Wisdom with Mark, the incredible Mark Z tonight. I'm gonna try to like find out what he's been doing in Brazil and see how that goes tonight. So I'll be on Whiskey and Wisdom about 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern with Mark tonight. And Jen and I will see you back here on Monday. If not before, Jen, are you doing another philosophy show tomorrow?
Probably.
Probably philosophy in the morning. So keep your eyes peeled, keep your faith, keep your hope. You got a lot of great information today, and I believe it is all true. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.